guys? Welcome to Beyond Eden. So, I don't know much about this game, but we're already starting off on a bad foot with it because, this game is very, so I'm having to play it at full screen, and that's very, annoying for me. That's really exhausting. And if I don't play it at full screen, I can play it at windowed mode at like 480p. So that's really upsetting. I don't know why that is, but I'll try not to let that get in the way of enjoying the game. I think did I just say I don't know pretty much anything about it? I barely know anything about it. Of course, everyone's 18. That goes without saying, doesn't it? It does. Alright, partially voiced during important scenes. I mean, we'll listen to the Koreans. We'll listen. Or we're no Korea boos, but we'll listen. Maybe some of you are Korea boos. Maybe you guys love that Jungkook person.
지금부터 우리가 갈 곳은 어떤 곳이지, 알렉스?
Okay, well there he goes with his Korean.
애쉬그로브. 그 대답은 조금 전에도 들었어.
그랬던가, 로렌스?
그래. 좀 더 자세한 설명을 해줬으면 하는데.
The only thing I'm aware of is that they're English aristocrats, I think. Maybe there was Revenge I read. I'm not sure.
한 남자 가문의 오래된 저택이야. 광대한 숲에 둘러싸인 고풍스러운 집이지. 근처엔 호수가 하나 있는데 거기서 안개가 피어오를 때면 숲과 저택이 잿빛으로 보이곤 해.
Are we going to a haunted mansion?
애쉬 그로브라고 불리는 건 그 때문이라는군.
주변에 다른 저택도 있나?
글쎄, 좀 떨어진 곳에 두어 개 있지만 교류가 그리 활발하진 않은 것 같더군.
듣는 것만으로도 우울해지는군. 난 화려한 무도회며 만찬, 오페라를 전부 내팽개치고 왔는데 즐길 거라곤 하나도 없어 보이잖아. 아,
I mean, I'm sure
알겠다.
there'll be plenty of men
그
there.
집안에는 필시 아리따운 영애들이 있겠지?
I think there are 6 love interests, perhaps? In this game, I think? And no daughters,
유감스럽지만
please.
그 저택엔 아들들 뿐이야. 남자 부인조차 런던에 출타 중이시라는군.
Why you say even his lady is away as though if his lady was here, you'd you'd get with her? You're gonna sleep with the Lord's wife?
삭막해. 삭막하기 그지없군.
You know, we'll fix that heterosexuality right up real soon.
모처럼 런던에서 벗어났는데 아름다운 프랑스의 해변이 아니라 이런 곳에 와야만 했나?
그럼 왜 따라온 거지? 난 계속 말렸는데 말이야.
그건 네가 어디에 뭘 하러 가는지 절대 안 가르쳐줬으니까 그렇지. 나 몰래 재미있는 곳에 가려는 줄 알았는데 그렇지는 않았나 보군. 이젠 말해줘도 되지 않아? 그 저택에는 대체 뭘 하러 가는 거야?
내가 애쉬 그로브에 돌아가는 이유는
Ooh.
그
Is it for their-
저택의 모든 것을 부수기
Okay.
위해서.
Not sure how the anal was gonna fit in there, but we'll find a way. We always find a way in yaoi games, so it's cool. Alright, is this our opening cutscene? Let's go, anime. Alright, it's a little bit more somber than that. No singing even, so okay. I guess I just get to look at the backgrounds of the mansion. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Beautiful house. I can't wait to get absolutely destroyed in every room by each of the different men. That's gonna be nice. There's also another sequel to this game coming out soon. I think you play as the youngest son or something who's not old enough to romance in this game yet, and he's a real twink. So That's hot. A liveried footman opened the carriage door and Alex descended from the vehicle. What the hell does liveried mean? Before his eyes was a sight he could never forget, even if he tried. Ashgrove Park was a mansion which consisted of a main building in the front and a conjoining 3-story annex built approximately 100 years ago. It was surrounded not by some well-trimmed garden, but by a vast lawn spreading away from the building, which effectively emphasized the house's magnificence. With nothing to obstruct the view, visitors had no choice but to recognize the mansion's presence long before they reached the building. The tenants would look up to the house from their childhood and learn to distinguish the ruling class from the subjugated, as well as their place in the system. Ooh, we don't like that. We don't like class systems. No, 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 we're communists. For that is why the houses of nobilities are structured and presented so grandly. Alex, too, was once intimidated by this house. But during the past 10 years, he had visited numerous mansions to pay social calls, and Ashgrove Park no longer instilled a sense of awe or reverence in him. A myriad of thoughts rushed through his mind, but only for a brief moment. Alex gazed upon the person who arrived at the door to greet him, and Lawrence. Okay, he looks a little bit pissed off. We just met. You haven't even said a word to us, but fine, be angry. The man who stood before them was followed by a troop of servants. He was obviously the master of the house, or his proxy. His azure eyes were the color of blue topaz. The facial features were finely sculpted, and his posture was dignified and stately. As long as he retained these qualities, he would be recognized as a nobleman, even if he were to be clad in coarse linen instead of his elegant cutaway coat. The man's expression was intensely stiff. I should not have eaten something before this. He first shot a glance at Alex, then turned his attention to Lawrence, who was standing behind Alex.
해시그로브에 어서 오십시오. 헤드니까의 장남 오스카 헤드닉입니다.
Alright, Oscar, well, we're probably going for you last, so you can just go ahead, go back to the back of the line. We don't need this. We don't need your attitude. Politely? You don't look polite. He politely extended his arm to Lawrence, offering a handshake.
먼 길을 와주셔서 감사합니다. 들라파이트님.
Honestly, Lawrence is kind of cute. He's our best friend, I think, and he's really cute. Lawrence de Lafayette cast a quick, quizzical glance at Alex, and right now I'm just thinking about all the different voices I'm going to give to them when they're no longer voiced. I'm just trying to pre-plan this. He had expected Oscar to greet Alex first and comment on their reunion, and he was the one acquainted with the Edenic family. Edenic? Edenic? Maybe. But Lawrence did not raise any questions and simply shook Oscar's hand.
로렌스라고 불러주세요. 이 친구를 따라 멋대로 왔는데 피해가 되지 않으면 좋겠군요.
귀한 손님을 모시게 되어 이쪽이야말로 영광입니다. 저도 그냥 오스카라고 불러주십시오.
The black bars on the side of the screen are actually hurting me inside.
지방이지만 공기만은 좋으니 푹 쉬시다 가시길 바랍니다.
예, 기꺼이.
After greeting Lawrence, Oscar finally turned his attention to Alex.
오랜만이군, 알렉스.
그러게, 별일 없이 잘 지냈어?
걱정해줘서 고맙고 덕분에 일가 모두 건강하게 지내고 있지.
It was a typical greeting to an old acquaintance, aside from the glimmer of wariness flashing in Oscar's eyes.
방문을 허락해줘서 고마워. 이 근방엔 머무릴 호텔도 마땅치 않아서 거절당하면 어쩌나 걱정이 되더군.
But Oscar turned away and faced the house, as if to indicate he had no further desire for conversation.
언제까지 이런 곳에 있는 것도 뭐하니. 들어가지.
Alex and Lawrence followed Oscar into the house.
두 사람은 어떻게 아는 사이죠?
On to Ashgrove. Wow, we got an achievement.
알렉스는 어릴 때 저희 저택에 손님으로 머문 적이 있습니다.
남장님의 호의로 말이지.
What did you guys do to him? Why is he so pissed off? Why does he want revenge?
그리고 보니 남장님께 인사를 드리고 싶은데 어디에 계신가요?
실은 그것 말입니다만 첫 만남부터 결례를 저질러 죄송합니다. 원래는 아버지가 직접 손님들을 맞으실 예정이었습니다만 오전에 동생들과 목사관에 가신 후 돌아오지 않으시는 바람에.
What the heck is a rectory?
결례라고 하실 것까지야. 그보다 큰일이 아니었으면 좋겠네요.
Two footmen pulled the handles on the front door, which opened to a large hall. Lawrence took a survey of the interiors and was exclaiming words of admiration when the sound of hurried footsteps rushed through the entrance.
역시 손님이 먼저 도착한 모양이네.
You see, this is the Twink I'm talking about. I think he might get older in the second game, maybe not. Does he need to get older? I don't think so. He's just Twinky enough right now. Can't wait to sink my teeth into him. The young man approached them, his steps lively and his eyes dancing with curiosity.
에디, 손님에게 인사를 먼저 해야 하지 않을까? 당분간 여기에 머무르실 들라파이트님, 웨이크님이다. 실례가 없도록. 그리고 이쪽은 저희 형제 중 셋째인
에드워드 에드닉입니다. 처음 뵙겠습니다. 에디라는 아이 같은 별명만 아니라면 어떻게 불러주셔도 좋습니다.
그런 말을 하니까 아이 취급당하는 거다. 그보다 아버지는? 같이 오신 건가?
아니, 아버지랑 조슈아 형 제레미는 지금 목사관에 있어. 마차 바퀴살이 망가져서 고치는 중이야. 저녁 전에는 끝날 거라고 하더라.
불행 중 다행이군. 그런데 너는?
누군가는 먼저 돌아가서 사정을 전해야 하잖아. 마침 왕진을 오셨던 벨 선생님께 말을 빌렸지.
Still don't know what a rectory is, but you know, I'm sure they had a fun
그럼
time.
선생님도 목사관에 발이 묶이신 건가? 하필이면 손님들이 오셨을 때 이런 일이 일어나다니. 다시 한번
아니에요. 사정은 잘 알았습니다. 남장님과 다른 동생분들은 저녁 때 소개받을 수 있는 거죠?
I accidentally clipped off two of their lines because I thought they were done talking.
기대가 큽니다.
Okay, I guess he's done already? He said like one word. That's the whole sentence?
기대요?
오스카 씨를 좀 보세요. 그런 금발의 푸른 눈이라니 어딘가 신화에서 튀어나온 것 같잖아요.
Sometimes it throws me for a loop. It's like there's a full sentence there and I hear the actor say like two words and I'm just like, wait a second, are you done? Is that it?
다른 동생분들도 틀림없이 잘 생기셨을 것 같아서요.
They are good
그러고 보니
looking.
방금 알렉스에게 듣기론 여자
Eddie's
형제분이
hot.
없다던데 사실인가요?
예? 네, 그 말이 맞습니다. 제 동생들은 셋 다 남자입니다.
그래요? 유감이네요. 그런 금발로 태어나길 원하시는 숙녀분들을 두다스는 알고 있는데.
하지만 검은 머리에도 갈색 머리에도 그 나름의 아름다움이 있지 않던가? 특히 난 빨간 머리가 좋던데 말이야.
I know, right? Red hair is like nearly gone. It's being eliminated from the gene pool.
응? 그래?
그래, 딱 에드워드 씨 같은 머리칼 말이야. 호박석을 햇빛에 비춰보면 저런 다몽색으로 빛나지 않던가?
잘 됐네, 에드워드군. 알렉스는 그런 머리칼이 좋다는데?
I mean, he could be talking about either of you, really. You both have the same exact color hair.
감사합니다. 그런 말을 듣는 건 처음이에요.
Why can't we get with Edward already in this game? Why do we have to wait till the next one? Damn. I want some. Hey, look at him, he's pretty kawaii. A brief puzzlement passed over Oscar's face, but he soon turned his glance towards the pocket watch in his hand.
저녁 식사까지는 아직 시간이 있군요. 우선은 쌓여있는 여독을 푸시는 게 어떨까요? 저희 사용인이 방으로 안내해드릴 겁니다.
Oh no. Alright, well, I don't know why there's this super anime-looking girl here. I mean, do you... Is that not... Can we actually go ahead and look... Can I scroll back in this game? No, that's... Oh, no. I can only look at a log. Okay. I wanted to look at the other guy's sprites again. Just to compare it to hers, because what is going on? Why is she animated up like 10 times more than everyone else? Look at her eyes. What? Did you have someone else entirely draw her? Like, I don't get it. That's, we don't stand that. We don't stand inconsistent art style. Two figures standing behind Oscar stepped forward. They had stood closest to the young lord as he greeted the guests, which indicated they were the heads of the servants.
집사인 버튼입니다. 필요한 것이 있으시면 무엇이든 말씀해 주십시오.
하우스키퍼인 메어리입니다.
메어리? 아직도 이 저택에서 일하고 있었나?
기억해 주시다니 송구스럽습니다, 웨이크님.
당연히 기억하지. 정말 반가워. 오스카, 실례가 안 된다면 그녀에게 안내를 부탁해도 될까?
Ooh.
그야 메오리만 괜찮다면 부탁해도 괜찮겠나?
You wanna get with that anime hoe? Come on now. See, look at their eyes. What is... Everyone else's eyes are normal, and you just came out of a shoujo manga.
젊은 주인님의 분부대로.
What? Or do all women in the Beyond Eden universe just have eyes that are 10 times bigger than the men? Is that just genetic in the Beyond Eden universe? I don't know. Maybe it is. Alex was led to the second floor of the annex to a room equipped with fine furniture. If he remembered correctly, it was a room reserved for important guests. Oh, okay, so I already have to voice it. Oh my god, I've been ready for this. Oh. Alright. This is your room, Mr. Wake. It seems the valet has brought your trunk up already. Thank you, Fox. Would you like some tea, sir? I had it ready on your account of the unusually chilly weather. Then yes, please. Mary promptly returned with a tea set on a tray. Please wait for a minute, Mr. Wake. Oh. It's strange to hear you address me like that. Well, my. Then, should I address you as Master Alex, as I did before? Ew. Am I not too old for that? What? Wouldn't you usually address the older people as Master? I don't get that. Not at all. I still call everyone Master, except for the young Lord, of course. Indeed, he's the future Lord Edenic after all. Edenic. More than a decade had passed, but the appearance of the mansion remained as Alex remembered it. However, the position and status of its previous and current residents, including those of Alex himself, seemed to have undergone considerable change. So our old nurse is the present housekeeper. I presume Potter is retired. Yes, she quit since the pain in her legs worsened. Mary prepared the tea with deft fingers, placed the teacup on a silver saucer, and offered to Alex. Thanks. Nice scent. Alex was about to take a sip when he heard a knock. Lawrence popped his head inside. I think I'll just give Lawrence my regular voice. I think he could use it. I knew you were having tea. Give me a cup too. He sat down on a sofa with not a fleck of hesitation and took the teacup from Mary's hands. You may leave us now. Sorry for taking your time. Not at all, sir. Pleased to be of service. Why don't you have tea in your own room? Okay, well that was a little bit hostile. He just came in here. What a silly question. Wake, I don't drink tea unless I have company. I'm not like you Englishmen, guzzling tea all the time. Is he not English? Did I miss that? Is he French? Yet I can see you're thoroughly enjoying yours. I can't help it. This country's so cold. That's why I insisted we vacation somewhere warm. Although Lawrence grumbled, a smile of satisfaction lit his face. Apparently the tea had warmed him up. Remember, you're the one who begged to be here. So, what's your impression of the house? Well, I can't say for sure since I've only just arrived here. Still, it is quite impressive to find not a single trace of ladylike presence within these halls. What? Who does that? Who comes to a luxurious mansion and the first thing they say when they're asked what they think about the place, they're like, there's not enough pussy. Like, what? What? What kind of straight nonsense is this? Like I said, we're gonna beat the straight out of these men. We'll do it. I just don't know if it's gonna be a headache to do it, you know? I really hope it's not. I really hope there's not a lot of, you know, but I'm straight or something. Or, but we're both men type of comments. Oh my god, I'm already envisioning them all. Then go back to London if you please. I'm not stopping you. You're a cold man, Wake, but I will stay. I had felt I should get away from London for a spell. Alex immediately understood the implication. There had been a groundless rumor concerning a duke's daughter who was infatuated with Lawrence. Of course, as rumors go, there were no means to confirm it. London does love gossip. Indeed. Anyway, is it true that you spent your childhood here? What, do you think he was lying? Oh, didn't I tell you before? No, you never did. You merely told me you shall be visiting an acquaintance. Anyway, you've been acting somewhat queer lately. First you didn't like the idea of me tagging along, and then you suddenly changed your mind. Well, the answer was simple. Lawrence descended from the illustrious family which had produced a number of French dignitaries for generations. Nobody would dare to openly reject a man with such a background, not to mention his compassion. Then there was Lawrence himself with his good looks and innocent smile, and the ability to carry conversation without boring people. He was easily liked by everybody regardless of age and sex due to such amiable qualities. And a likable person naturally becomes the center of interest. Alex calculated that Lawrence could be useful enough if the latter's presence could divert attention from those wary of Alex and let their guard down. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna murder everybody here? Is this gonna become a Danganronpa? Are we gonna have a clash trial? As you see, it's the country. I wouldn't have come here if not for business. At least I have you to talk to. Likely mere lip service, but still nice to hear. Oh, what's that? Don't you hear hoofbeats? Alex put a saucer down and walked over to the window. A black-brown four-wheeled carriage had just stopped before the mansion. The door opened and several people descended from the vehicle. The last person to leave was a tall man. It was the Baron. The one person Alex had ached and craved to see once more. Ached and craved. Ugh. Are you sure you want revenge on him? Like, what? What do you mean you... Ugh. Have you ever been really angry at a person and you wanted to get even with them, and the feeling you would describe for how much you wanted to see them was that you ached and craved for them? I don't think that's how you would describe it, no. The Baron was surrounded by servants as well as those who appeared to be his sons. Such strange phrasing. But he was all that was worth seeing to Alex at the moment. Okay, that does not seem... Yet it lasted for a fleeting moment as the Baron and the others were soon swallowed by the house. With nothing left to observe, Alex returned to his seat. Has the Baron arrived? Yes, but you won't see him anymore. He's inside the house now. Edenic. That's not a common name. Well, I guess maybe I'm making this pronouncing Edenic too hard. I mean, Edenic? Yeah, I think that's how I should pronounce it. Not Edenic. Edenic. Say, could it be that Lady Edenic of Mayfair is... Yes, she's the mistress of the house. Is that so? I have met her often in social events, but never her husband. What is he like? See for yourself. Alright, be curt with your friend. Are we gonna have a tense dinner? Ew. Baron William Edenic, Lord of Ashgrove, greeted the young guests. There was a look of imposing dignity in his calm eyes. Why is he so boxy? Why is he so boxy? Why his shoulders are so stiff? And what's he doing with his hands? Like, relax, God. Alright. Oops.
애쉬그로브의 영주인 윌리엄 에드닉일세.
초대해 주셔서 감사합니다.
웨이크군은 오랜만에 만나는군. 별거 없었나?
네, 덕분에. 남장님도 건강해 보이셔서 다행입니다.
나이에 비해선 괜찮은 편이지.
As the Baron fell silent, so did the entire dining room.
그러고 보니 다른 동생들의 소개도 아직이었군요. 에디, 조슈아와 제레미는
I don't think they're Twink, so I'm not interested. You don't have to bother them.
조슈아 형이 시간이 걸리는 건 어쩔 수 없잖아. 제레미는 글쎄 조슈아 형이랑 같이 오려는 걸지도 모르고.
서둘러 준비하면 좋았을 것을.
신경 쓰지 마세요. 저희가 예정보다 일찍 내려와 버린 탓인걸요.
아닙니다. 일단 저도 감독하고는 있습니다만 동생들이 아직 철이 없어서요. 도착한 모양이군요.
Everybody turned their attention towards the young man at the dining room door. Okay, he's kinda cute. He's a twunk, I see it. I like it. I'll allow it. Those who meet him for the first time would wonder why he carried a cane inside the house, then understand its function after seeing him walking. That's a heck of a way just to say someone has a limp or something. Like, what? Yeah, he uses the cane because he has a limp. I understand all you guys back then were all, you know, dandy and you used canes even if you didn't have a limp, but it's not that shocking. For one knee was slightly more bent than the other, preventing normal walking. Yet there were no signs of timidity or resentment in his face. Well, what? Is someone gonna be so resentful and timid just because they have a little knee problem? What is your view of handicapped people? I'm not even sure if we can classify him as truly handicapped if it's just a little limp. I don't know. The cool detachment in his eyes uniquely distinguished him from the rest of the family.
형제 중 둘째인 조슈아입니다.
처음 뵙겠습니다. 조슈아 에드닉입니다.
Okay, so I can either see me getting with Joshua or Lawrence here so far. Definitely not this Oscar stretch, whatever. After finishing the introduction, Joshua took his seat beside Alex. Or Edward, but unfortunately not in this game. Oscar lightly cleared his throat.
조슈아?
The young man raised his head and looked at the guests.
놀라시겠다면 죄송합니다. 다리는 꽤 전부터 이랬지만 일상생활에는 지장이 없으니 신경 쓰실 것 없습니다.
What, did you need to tell him to explain his disability? I think he can explain it if he feels as though he wants to or needs to.
난 그런 뜻으로 말한 게.
No, that's not what you meant? Whatever.
제레미, 뭐 하는 거냐? 얼른 들어오지 않고.
Is that even a male voice? What? What? Oh, okay, it's a tiny boy. Okay. Alright, the boy was hesitant and lingering by the door, aware of the subtle tension in the room. He entered upon Oscar's call.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. His smile was rather shy yet welcoming.
처음 뵙겠습니다. 제레미 에드닉입니다. 부디 편히 쉬다 가시길 바랍니다.
Who put you in the fruity sailor outfit?
막내인 제레미입니다. 아직 어려서 부족한 점이 있을지도 모르지만 잘 부탁드립니다.
Let the little boy grow up.
부족하다니 당치도 않아요. 이렇게 씩씩한걸요? 그렇지?
But his remarks did not reach Alex's ears, for the boy was truly a marvel to behold. Okay. You're really weird, Alex. You're really weird. First, you're getting wet for the Lord when you see him exit his carriage, and now this. I don't. Why is he the exact likeness of her? For a moment, Alex thought he was hallucinating. The blonde hair and blue eyes clearly indicated the Edenic lineage, yet the rest of him was a splitting image of someone Alex knew very well.
알렉스? 너도 그렇게 생각하지?
Why did it say Wake when he clearly said Alex? Did you guys see that? What's up with that? Whatever. Don't you agree?
나도 그렇게 생각해.
Wait, why did I even read that? Oscar watched Alex with a puzzled look, but cleared his throat once more.
원래라면 주치의이신 벨 선생님도 동석하십니다만 오늘은 급한을 일으킨 환자의 집에 묵고 오신다는군요. 그럼 모두가 모였으니 식사를 시작하도록 하죠. 괜찮죠, 아버지?
Upon Oscar's nod, the footman carried in the platters and trays. The diners took food from the offered platters. Oh, I guess diners like people that dine? I thought it meant like a diner, like a place you eat at. The diners took food from the offered platters, and for a while, only the clatter of utensils filled the dining room. Oscar carved the venison as he glanced at Alex sitting to his right.
여긴 일 때문에 왔다고 했던가?
맞아. 구매를 고려 중인 토지를 둘러보러 왔어.
It was not a lie. Alex was indeed in the process of negotiating real estate sales with another aristocratic family.
이 지역에 땅을 사서 뭐하게?
양이라도 키울까 해서.
재미없는 농담이군.
The Edenic estate was located in Norfolk, where crop and livestock were the major products. Yet the country's agricultural business was being increasingly overshadowed by industrialization, which was why its land was not generally considered as an attractive investment. But if Alex's calculations were right, he would reap vast profits from this deal. Well, I think he's going to be wrong.
바쁜 거 아니었나? 대리인을 보내면 좋았을 것을.
I mean, what year is it? Because the industrialization is it just keeps going, man.
이번 일은 신중을 기해야 해서 말이지. 내 눈으로 직접 확인하고 싶었어.
무슨 사업을 하시는데요?
무역과 투자를 중심으로 하고 있습니다.
그렇게 딱딱하게 말씀 안 하셔도 돼요. 그럼 외국에 가보신 적도 있겠네요?
일 때문에 가끔. 나한테도 좀 더 편하게 말하도록 해, 에드워드.
Let's get cozy with each other, Edward.
정말? 그럼 사양하지 않고 그렇게 할게요.
손님께 버릇없이 굴지 마라, 에디.
No one asked you, Oscar.
알렉스 형이 괜찮다고 하면 되는 거 아니야?
Don't you just hate
형은 너무
it
참견이 심해.
when you're trying to get with a cute twink and then his older brother has to come in and be like, hey, he's just a boy. Oscar said nothing, but the deep wrinkles between his eyebrows clearly betrayed his annoyance. It was plainly obvious that this pair of brothers did not get along.
알렉스가 외국을 많이 돌아다닌 건 사실이죠.
많은 나라에 가보셨나 보네요. 즐거우셨나요?
글쎄, 일 때문에 관광할 시간이 별로 없었거든.
그럼 놀러 가면 되잖아. 들어보세요, 오스카 씨. 이 친구는 너무 일을 좋아해요. 젊은데도 즐길 줄을 모른다니까요.
무슨 소리야? 이렇게 느긋하게 쉬러 왔잖아.
그러고 보니 여기엔 얼마나 있을 예정이에요?
오래 머무를 생각은 아니야. 사업 이야기가 매듭지어지는 대로 돌아갈 거야.
에? 전혀 느긋하지 않잖아. 좀 더 있으면 어때요? 조슈아 형도 그렇게 생각하지?
그건 아버지한테 물어보지 않으면 몰라.
어떻게 생각하세요, 아버지?
With everybody watching, the Baron wiped his mouth with a napkin and slowly opened his mouth to speak.
원하시는 만큼 머무르시면 되지. 그렇지 않나, 오스카?
Oscar's expression was far from that of approval, yet neither did he seem willing to object to his father's decision.
손님이 머물러 계시면 저희로서도 기쁠 따름이죠. 느긋하게 쉬다 가시길 바랍니다.
Yeah, just be begrudging with me, that's fine. You're gonna be the first to get murdered, dude.
그렇다면 감사히 신세를 지겠습니다. 런던에 두고 온 일들도 있으니 봄이 오기 전에는 돌아가야 합니다만.
Before spring? Are we staying for seasons worth? Wait, what season is it now? I think it's fall, maybe? I don't know. With February approaching... Okay, no, it must be January. There was but a month or two until spring. Okay, not that long. Still, it was enough time for Alex to inspect the estate and also achieve his true objective.
로렌스, 넌 어때?
나도 그 정도 머물도록 할까? 별로 급할 것도 없으니 말이야.
그럼 어쩌면 벚꽃을 보고 가실 수도 있겠네요.
벚꽃이요?
네, 저희 정원에 있는 커다란 벚나무는 조금 빨리 피는 편이거든요. 보통은 벚꽃이 피면 밖에 테이블을 내놓고 차를 마셔요. 조금 춥긴 하지만 눈처럼 흩날리는 꽃잎이 정말 아름답거든요.
Sorry to cut you off, little boy, but it's not easy to tell when you Koreans are done talking. I mean that. It's like, I'm used to maybe hearing the Japanese. I can kind of tell when they're finished with their sentences, but not at all right here. Like, I've never listened to Koreans talk for very long. His words surprised Alex once more.
흩날리는 꽃잎이 꼭 눈송이 같아서 아름답지?
For she used to utter the same words so often, she who loved flowers, she who is the one most dearest to Alex, a woman? I don't know how that can be. I don't know how that's right. So what, did the Lord somehow kill this person that you loved? This woman, I should say. After dinner, there was small talk between glasses of wine, during which Alex quietly excused himself. Being very much a first-time meeting, the conversation mostly consisted of formalities. Also, the journey was rather tiring, and he planned to rest up for tomorrow. Alex sat down on the sofa and reflected on the people he had met today. 12 years had changed them profoundly. He would have had difficulty recognizing them if he happened to pass them by in the streets of London. He thought of the Edenic brothers. Joshua, the Baron's second son, whose leg was crippled from an old injury. He was kind of the hottest. But then there was the super Twinkie one. Wait, am I confused? Can we date Edward? I feel like I read we can't, but can we? I don't know. I think no. I want to say no because he has his whole... I know for a fact he has his own game after this, in which he's the main character, so I want to say no. Edward, the Baron's third son, constantly rebelling against his eldest brother, and he was the Twinkiest. Jeremy, the Baron's fourth son, who was much younger than his brothers. For some reason, Alex found himself strangely attracted... well... And the only person who does not mask his wariness against Alex. Oscar, who needs that? Can you get out? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Did I disturb you? I was about to retire for the night, but it's all right. What do you want? For a moment, Oscar paused, unsure how to choose his words, but he promptly shook off his hesitation and looked straight at Alex. I will be candid with you. All right, be candid. Why did you come back? Why, you ask? It's been more than 10 years since you left for school at London. So? You never visited nor wrote to us, and then you returned so abruptly. Why would you do so? As I said, I'm here on business. Tomorrow I shall be meeting Mr. Sir James Ferguson to inspect his estate. But why are you so anxious? I've simply returned to an old home with fond memories. Home. I've never dreamed of you saying that. Alex just smiled silently. Forget what I said. Just promise me one thing. Do not ever exert any negative influences on my brothers. I expect you to act as a model guest, so that I may gladly receive you and your friend. Do you understand what I mean? Very well. I'm unsure what your idea of the model guest is, but I will try my best. A deep scowl flashed across Oscar's face. Until now, his displeasure had only shown through the slight knitting of his eyebrows. This was the first time his face betrayed intense emotion, and Alex found it intensely satisfying. Good night, then. The door closed, and the smile on Alex's face disappeared, as sudden as the mask being removed. A mask being removed. Oscar Edenic. The Baron's eldest son, the person who is most wary of Alex. And his response was completely normal and predictable. Just as Alex considered the house a target to destroy, Alex himself must be a shadow from an uncomfortable past to the Edenics. What was truly perplexing was the Baron, who not only permitted Alex to visit, but also allowed him to extend his stay. Alex wondered why he would do so. Does he believe Alex had no reason to bear grudges against him, or does he think that Alex wishes to forget the past and reconcile with him? Either way, Alex knew that he will regret his decisions. Oh. What's this? Okay, well, okay. I guess. That's like one of those things you get in an anime when you return from a commercial break or something. The Edenic family had been based in the countryside of northern Norfolk for centuries. Most of their 4,000 acres estate was dedicated to crop and sheep farming. In other words, the Edenics were just typical country aristocrats. Alex wondered why he could not have thought so when he was a boy, as he continued to stroll across the grounds. Although the children were grown... Wait, although the children were grown? Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was like, although the children were grown here, like what? They were grown here in like a lab? The estate itself seemed unchanged. Alex recognized a tree he used to climb often as a boy, and stroked its trunk. What? He felt its branches would be unable to bear his weight, and break off if he tried to climb it now. How fat are you? Alex decided to return to the house after finishing his aimless stroll when he heard the sound of hoofbeats. The carriage seemed to slow down, then stop near him.
알렉스군?
Who are you? As Alex turned at the mention of his name, the carriage door opened, revealing the man inside. Yeah. I just can't control my grunts or sighs of disapproval when I see an ugly character, you know? When I saw the Lord Edenic, I was like, ew. When I see him, I'm like, ew. I don't want that. His eyes were filled with joy as he stepped off the vehicle in a hurry. Then he stumbled and fell on the ground with a large splat.
어?
He struggled to regain his feet in the wet grass, and Alex found himself helping the man up.
모리스 선생님.
Half an hour later. What? That was a weird jump. Morris had changed into clean clothes and sat in his chair facing Alex. The fall from the carriage had stained his clothes with the morning dew and mud. When the maid raised the teapot to pour tea into Alex's cup, Morris stopped her and poured the tea himself.
감사합니다.
Alright, hi, how old are you? 50? 60?
아니, 괜찮네. 이렇게 같이 차를 마시는 것도 정말 오랜만이군. 얼마 만이지? 적어도 10년은 지났나? 그동안 잘 지냈나?
I've been good. I noticed your hair turned gray recently. How has that been? As Morris peppered Alex with questions, he took the teacup to his lips and ended up spilling drops of tea on his thigh. Yet he failed to notice this. How old is he?
선생님, 옷에 홍차가...
I don't like this. It's like they're really drumming up how ancient he be.
정말이네. 언제 이렇게 흘렀지?
Like he's just spilling tea all over himself. It's like,
방금 흘리시지 않았습니까?
am I supposed to be attracted to that? Am I supposed to be attracted to an old man that can't even hold his teacup straight and spills tea all over himself? Is he gonna lose his bowels in the middle of a scene, you know? Like, what are we looking at here? Because old people do that, you know?
그랬나?
I'm just saying, I don't know about that. His response did not surprise. I'm sure someone in the comment section right now is like, no, Morris is my favorite character from Beyond Eden. He's so sexy. I'm like, what? It's like, you people. His response did not surprise Alex. As far as he can remember, Morris was an expert at spilling, breaking, and losing things. His clumsiness seemed to contradict his age. He should be past 40 now. Only? As well as his profession as a doctor, which requires precise judgment. Yet he was honest and hard-working, and was seen as a good, capable physician whose gentle disposition was particularly soothing to his patients. He's 60.
또 이 집 사용인들에게 수고를 끼치겠군. 그러고 보니 메어리와는 벌써 인사했나?
Bothered the servants again? You can't clean up your own mess? Aristocrats.
네, 예전과 다름없더군요.
참 좋은 아이지. 명랑하지만 아주 야무진 면도 있고.
그랬죠. 처음 이 저택에 왔을 땐 짓궂게 구는 사용인들도 있었지만 메어리는 결코 그렇지 않았죠.
I thought he was done with the line, so... While Alex was Edenick's guest and officially belonged upstairs, what does that mean? It was not enough to keep the servants from treating him with disdain. Disdain? His father was the son of a viscount, but his mother was middle class, and Alex himself was a child with no title or inheritance. At times, he was even seen as a common playmate for the Edenick brothers.
그땐 내가 힘이 되어주지 못해 미안했네.
괜찮습니다. 선생님은 언제나 친절하게 대해...
That one I knew he wasn't done talking, but like my finger slipped. Morris opened his eyes wide as saucers, clearly surprised by the remark.
그랬다면
Okay, but what did they actually do to you, what did they actually do to you, Alex? Because all you said was they didn't treat you like, you know, you were golden. Like you were made of gold, so... I mean, I'm assuming they killed this chick that he loved. It wasn't surprising that Morris failed to recognize Alex's mistreatment. The servant's behavior continued only up to the first 6 months after Alex arrived, and even during that period they acted politely in the presence of other family members. Why would the servants specifically be treating him badly? If anything, you'd assume that the aristocratic family would treat him like he's garbage. Why would the servants specifically be treating him like garbage. They're also garbage because, you know, they're not aristocrats, they're lowly working class. I don't get it. But Alex did not find their coldness so painful. It was more bearable than the relatives who took him in shortly after he was orphaned. Relatives who spoke ill of his father almost every day. But whenever Alex was treated with disdain by the servants, his sister would be deeply upset, as if she had been mistreated herself. Is his sister the one who died?
알렉스, 미안해.
I don't think so. She don't look like the boy. Yet there were also adults who did not discriminate, who treated the siblings warmly. One of them was Mary, the nurse. She's an adult? And she was an adult 10 years ago? Ugh. Well, I guess we see who, what was her name? Oh god, what was her name? No, I know her name. I know her name. Ugh, my god, I don't know her name. From Chess of Blade. Hazel. I guess we know who Hazel grew up to be. This is it. Great, awesome. That took me way too long. One of them was... I already read that. Another was Dr. Morris Bell, who was presently sitting before Alex's eyes. Perhaps because of such fond memories, Alex could not have a negative impression of Morris, despite his almost comedic blunders. Alex was lost in thought when he heard the sound of something rustling. Morris was fumbling through his white doctor's coat, searching for something. Alex noticed the smooth, worn-out cherrywood pipe in his other hand and smiled.
왜 그러나?
아니요. 선생님이 애연가라는 걸 다시금 깨달았을 뿐입니다. 제가 좋은 잎을 가지고 있는데 어떠신가요?
고맙네.
Morris took some leaves from Alex's tobacco pouch and filled the pipe. Tutorial? This message will only show once. What, is this your warning to me? You better watch, you better pay attention or get wrecked? Interactive mode. You can switch into interactive mode when you see this icon at the top right corner of the screen. You can interact with the characters' bodies or background objects. Okay, sounds kinky. When you hover over a certain spot, the pointer-sized cursor will either turn into a magnifying glass or speech bubble. The magnifying glass displays observational text, while clicking on the speech bubble will enable you to interact with or communicate. The interactive mode automatically ends after 3 minutes or manually by clicking the skip button or pressing the escape key. Interesting. While the interactive mode does not affect the endings or affection meters, we recommend you play it for the full experience of the game. Ow, my eye. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna save. And I am going to end this episode of Beyond Eden right here. So I think I'm 99% sure that I can't get with Edward. But if I can get with Edward, he's my first choice, but I'm almost positive I can't. I'm pretty sure I have to wait till Beyond Eden. Edward. I have to wait till Edward, the second game, the game after this, to sleep with him. Or be him and sleep with others. So then my second choice is going to be Joshua. And then my third choice would be Lawrence. And then we have Oscar, who I'm not interested in, but I guess he'd be my fourth. And then we have Morris? I think there were 6 choices, though. Love interest. Have we not been introduced to some yet? I don't know. But that's my ranking so far. Can we sleep with the Lord? I guess the Lord would be number 6 in my ranking list. I don't like that. Anyway, goodbye.